Hey tubers, Bart coming at you with a mail day. Got a nice mail day today. Let's see. First up though, wanted to mention tomorrow, myself and Skyny Tradition will be shooting a video together on behalf of the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network on YouTube. And if many of you are familiar with the Baseball Card Hall of Fame that they've been doing for a couple of years, we started a football one. Skyny and I, with the help of Ray and Mike, put together a 45 card football card Hall of Fame ballot. And so we'll be talking about that and discussing what's on the ballot, and it'll open up for voting. And then we'll have a couple weeks of open voting until it's time to see who got selected, and we'll announce that just before they announce the actual Football Hall of Fame. So look out for that. If you aren't already subscribed to the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network channel, go ahead and do so. Everybody that's involved kind of shares those videos on their own pages as well, but there's a one-stop shop set up for it and everything like that, and that'll be the first place that all those videos get shown before we steal the vids and share them on our own, just so you know what's going on there. But I'll move on to some pickups. First, got this nice old school Beckett here from, it's a little rough to read there, but July 1993. Thought that looked cool, and I think I paid like $4 for it. So can't beat that for a beautiful Jackie. Pickups. Let's see, which side we holding this on? Got the homage to the 93 black gold. We got the Juan Soto black gold here from 2021 Chrome Update. Really digging that. Tried to get one sub-worthy for myself. I have two of them. Neither one of them are centered properly for a 10. And this is one of those cards that I just wanted in a 10. It's nostalgia with the 93 design there. And then Juan Soto, of course, isolated. Just a beautiful card. So happy to pick that up because I was 0 for 2 on the raw ones. And then when I was looking eBay and stuff like that, I could just see a whole lot of them with centering issues as well. So happy to pick that up for a decent price at auction. I'm surprised I didn't have this one already. But kind of know why. 95 Crown. These vertical ones are a little bit more rare, as they are inserts from Crown, where mostly we're horizontal. Love me some Crown, and I had been really just picking up the graded ones over the years, and I never found a graded one to really get after. One went recently, but I had moved on from needing to get it graded or anything. But you don't see a ton of them graded because on the backs, and I mention this all the time when I show the Crowns, the die cut parts, they just get shredded. They're already kind of mangled and stuff like that. I don't know how they cut it, but the compression there of that cut leaves crimps and white parts and stuff on the Crown. And so you pretty much aren't going to find them. So even if you find like one that looks real good on the front end, the back, not so much. So happy to have that one in a raw, because I'll match that up next to a Dion and a Steve Young. Put them in some magnetics and it'll be good to go. Got two of these. I think one of them is a sub candidate. Geno Adkins from 2012 Topps. No, by no means first ballot, but D tackles in this last generation there haven't been a ton of them that have had the longevity with the accolades and with actual stats too, because he got a fair number of sacks from a defensive tackle position, which is pretty cool. So future Hall of Famer at some point, and so didn't want to pay the premium for the ones that are out there graded just yet, because it is just a Topps base card, so you should have a decent opportunity to find one centered. And it's not a chrome, so you're not worried about the surface issues and things like that, right? He didn't have a chrome version that year, so his primary is that Topps base. Love doing some matching inserts. love me some matching inserts. That's why it sounded kind of funny right there. But so I have 2 of these already. I got a Debo and a Patrick Willis. Not real sure why they did an old school player there, but picked up the Passing the Torch 2019 of Nick Bosa out of 35. There's several variants, but since the first 2 I got were out of 35, I'm on the hunt for the 35s. And got the Kittle as well. Relatively cheap, but pretty cool cards, especially when you can get, you know, 3, 4, 5 players of your team all in one insert set. That's pretty cool. As far as I'm aware, it's just a Jimmy G left. But for whatever reason, the one that's listed there that's out of 35 is over $100 the person wanted. I think it was like 125. I made him an offer of $8 and he declined, but oh well, I'll keep looking. 3 big autos here, which are not necessarily typical, but small story that goes with them, I guess. This is the first time, I just pulled out a fuzzball out of that too. It's the first time I've been disappointed in Probstein 123's shipping, which is kind of rare. These 3 autos, they're not cheap. 2 Montanas and a Jerry Rice, so about $150 a piece. $450 worth of cards were shipped to me from Probstein between 2 pieces of cardboard and then just card savers. There was a bubble wrap around it, but you know, literally as I'm trying to open the bubble wrap, the cardboard starts bending as if it either got bent on the way, like, you know, or, you know, they used a previously used piece of cardboard that was already bent. And so as I'm opening it, I'm seeing the cardboard bending on me. And I hit a full panic once I realized what was in here. And I had to check everything to see if I bent the cards, damaged them, or whatever. And I just thought that was weird to put that level of card in something like that. I would have definitely liked something a little bit more rigid, because I did hit a full panic. And then opened it up. You wouldn't have seen it on camera anyway at this distance, but I literally just pulled like a dryer fuzzball out of one of the card savers. And then in this card saver, the card's not even in the penny sleeve. So not sure why, what that's about or whatever, because Probstein's usually on the significant up and up as far as shipping goes. I've never even remotely had an issue, but that was the first one. And then I almost made it even worse by bending these cards. But so I've pretty much given up on this insert set here. This is 2008 Topps Dynasties cards, and there are, what do we got now? We got 10. So there are 14 in this set from the Niners. I had 9 forever, but I didn't have the Rices or the Montanas. And then if you watched the video, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago or something, I found the Montana for a real recent bin price. Couldn't believe it, because these are out of 25. And so I was like, all right, cool. Well, now I have one of the bigger autos to go with it. It's not relegated to the bottom of the box. I can actually display it proudly a little bit, you know, because it's not just smaller autos. It's a pretty cool, diverse set. Bunch of different players, but the Montana has 3 versions and the Rice has 2. And so Probstein had the auction and listed all of the Rices and Montanas, which I was shocked. I didn't need one of the Montanas, but thankfully I won 2 of them. So the Super Bowl 23 and the Super Bowl 19. So I have all 3 of those, and I'll put them in magnetics and put them up. And I only won 1 of the Rices. I thought I was on track to win 2, but somebody needed that specific Super Bowl 24 Rice pretty bad, and so it went for a good bit higher than I won the Super Bowl 23 one for. I did want the Super Bowl 24 one because it had a nicer auto on it, but I am more partial in general to Super Bowl 23 because that's the first Super Bowl that I remember seeing. Rice was the MVP, but that's out of 25 as well. So three Hall of Fame autos out of 25 go for nice display pieces. And I picked up the raw non-auto version of the Super Bowl 24 as a placeholder just somehow throw in a magnetic and put it there. But excited to add those. Kind of rare to complete sets, you know, well, almost 15 years now later than they were made, but that's pretty cool. And then as I finished out the year, I don't think I'm gonna do a top 50 or something like that. I kind of went down the list and developed a list. I don't know. It's not something I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I'm mixed emotions about it, and I haven't fully articulated in my head about it. Some of it is, since I did that massive sell-off in, early 21, that my top 50 is not what it once was. Not to say that I'm not proud of my collection or anything like that, because I got some goodies in there. I don't know. Just mixed emotions about all of that. And so I may or may not do it, but when I was reflecting doing those things at the end of the year, which I do like to do, I said, hey, rebuilding because of that sell-off and my Hall of Fame rookies, I need to keep that going. I've slowed down a little bit. So I had got 4 of those to show off to you. Some are on the lower end peripheral, but still pretty cool. Nicely centered 71 as far as I'm concerned. It's a little off left to right, but that's pretty good and great color. Ken Houston, that's a first ballot Hall of Famer as well. And a nice 7. Got the 81 rookie Kellen Winslow and a PSA 9. Got the 97 SP Authentic Tony Gonzalez. And almost thought about a 10, but those are still pretty low pop, and so the premium for the 10s is pretty high. And then got one pretty good one here that came in the nice eBay authentication. Takes a couple extra days to get to you when they do that, but happy to add this. I'm a big sucker for the 48 Leafs. I wish they would put these stickers somewhere else so that I didn't see them from the front, because I don't really feel like taking them out of the sleeve when I display it. But finally got me a 48 Leaf Bobby the Blonde Bomber Lane and a nice PSA 4. You know, could be a little bit better centered left to right, but as long as there's a significant amount of white border around all sides, I'm pretty happy. And definitely look for that color, which is popping there. So pretty excited about it. And I think I look for the newer labels on these, just because there was that whole 48 Leaf trimming incident and stuff like that. For those that don't know those too well, 48 Leafs, I'll speak for football. I'm assuming baseball is somewhat similar, but for the football, they came from the manufacturer with varying sizes. So you will see varying sized ones in the slabs, but there was a period of time where certain level of ones were getting trimmed and they were still within the parameters of what was getting graded based on the varying sizes of the manufacturer. So if you got yourself a good colored, kind of on the larger end side, you could trim a little bit off and it still fit the sizes that others were getting slabbed in. PWCC had to make tons of notifications to people of who bought likely ones years later. There's still a chance that my 48 Leaf Nomalini falls in that boat, but hopefully not. But so that's one of the reasons why I look for a good chunk of white borders all the way around, but I look for it to fill up the case as much as possible as well. If it looks like there's a little more space than others, I just kind of keep it moving and wait for another one. So happy for that 48 Leaf Bobby Lane, and got 3 autos as well. So that's what I got for you. Again, look out for that Sports Card Hall of Fame Network video. As me and Scotty Tradition talk about the ballot, talk about the cards that go along with it. Yeah, I won't spoiler it with any more content on that, but I will put that network channel YouTube link in the video, you know, comments or whatever like that, and so or in the description, and then give it a sub, and you'll see a couple videos, you know, periodically throughout the year, so it's not going to flood your timeline or anything, but good stuff. That's what I got for you. Football weekend, Let's go Niners. National championship on Monday, so we'll see what happens there. But until next time, later.